Hello, hello. So I've spent today just deciding whether or not I should actually give this module out for free. So I decided to do it because it would have been a disservice not to. So I'm just going to pull back the curtain and show you a module from our full-time coach mastermind that literally has got our content converting into appointments booked for our coaching offer, and really literally makes like it just gets a lot of traction. This stuff we charge for multiple four figures for. We're giving it away for free today. So don't miss out. We're going to be giving you the 4 types of content that we're using to generate appointments from the traffic that come into our audience. We're going to be giving you the content calendar that we're using, so we never wonder what we're posting. We're going to be giving you the ability to always be able to come up with content whenever you need to. So if you don't know how to come up with content, or you get that content stagnation where you're not sure what to post, pay attention, take down this. This is not like something where it's like, oh, we'll give you the processes and then we hold something back. We're giving everything in this, literally the next 20 to 25 minutes. I'm going to walk you through it all. So get your notepad out and let's get to work. But before I jump in, I want to just let you know why you should listen to me. So I've been in business for 4.5 years. I've generated over $2 million in sales, but cash collected, which is really what matters, is that the first 12 months we generated $75,000. I had no prior experience in sales. I had no audience. I had nothing. I wasn't one of those guys that was building their skill set for 10, 20 years before I did this. I'd never done it. I just had the right mentor and the right system. $75,000 in the first year, $100,000 in the second year, $200,000 in the third year, $300,000 in the fourth year. It was $500,000 in sales that year. Okay. So we've had massive growth, and we're now partway through we're about 4.5 years in, and we've already generated well over $500,000 in sales. So all up, it accounts to $2 million in sales, and I'm excited to really show you like how we've actually done this in this community. We're leaving nothing out. I know I'm giving out all of this value with no strings attached, but really I know that a small percentage of you guys are going to love what we're giving out for free. We gave you the 50 days to 50K months training when you joined the group. If you haven't got that, let me know. Send me a message or send you through your copy. Literally, people are booking qualified calls from that thing. We're giving out weekly lead magnets that people are literally using to generate revenue right now. I'm going to give you this module. Like, we're giving so much because we know that the answer is giving that value. People can create results for free based on what you give them for free. Then people will make a small percentage will make that decision that, wow, their paid stuff must be worth doing. Okay, because that's really what we want to teach. It's like, let's just give people reasons to believe. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to walk you through exactly what we can do in this session. So this comes from one of our modules. We've got modules on mindset. We've got modules on systems. We've got modules on offer, how to perfectly position your offer and charge 10K for it. We've got a module on building social media omnipresence, Facebook strategies, how to have conversations with leads and book them in easily, how to create your sales pitch, and really how to have the right psychology around sales, how to create content, which is what we're going to dive into today, how to leverage outreach specialists to delegate your lead generation. We've got how to scale a profitable Facebook group, how to make sure that 98% of the people that book into calls show up. And then we've got literally sessions. Every single session we've ever hosted is held in here. We've got sessions on niche, offer and delivery, appointment setting and sales. And then we've got like a little bonus if you host masterclasses or challenges, how to create an automatic one. So if you have any issues in business around this stuff, this is going to help you. And let us know what you want us to, provide for you. So we're giving away all this for free, and then we really just we actually work with people to implement it. So if you start working on this and then you feel like you want some help implementing it, you know what to do. Otherwise, let's jump in. So I really want to explain first, before we get into the content structures, again, have your notepad out, take down your notes, and at the end of this or sometime during this live stream, just make sure you drop it down in the Facebook comments on this post below. And I want to hear like, what are your learnings? I want to hear what value you're getting. And I want to hear even if you have constraints around content, so that we know what we should be creating and putting out there for you, because you're a valued member of our group and we love having you here. We love serving you. So thank you for your attention as well, guys. This attention in this day and age is literally worth more than gold in my eyes, because we can only ever give our attention to one place. And really, I want that you are giving your attention to me. I want it to be worth your time. I want it to give you something back, because a lot of the time we give our attention to things that don't really give anything back. So people that are rich and successful and happy, they give their attention to places that give them multiple times more energy back. Okay, and this is one place that is going to give you that. So before we talk about content, it's really important. I'll just make my screen bigger. It's really important to understand what happens before people give you the 12 digits of their credit card over the phone when you actually are closing them. Every customer has what we call a customer journey before they buy your solutions. And really, people should not be hearing about what it looks like to be a customer only on the sales call. Like, you really should be talking about it in the content, because then you don't have to do all that education in the actual sales call. Before people buy your solutions, they need to be aware of their current reality as well as the solutions you offer. So really wanting to be teaching people, really helping them to understand their problems in a new way, right? Because it's important to understand what the intention of content is, which I'm going to dive into more, because when we can be more intentional about the actions we have in our business, we can have more control on actually understanding if our actions are aligning with creating the intention. Okay, so mastering the art of persuasion and influence is essential to your success, and it's really the basis behind creating content successfully. So everything that you will want after that will come after a stranger has been persuaded to take action, if you can't influence someone, it's really difficult to actually have it be successful. And I know that persuasion, it's important to understand, you can never get someone to do something they don't want to do. It's always because they deep down would want to do it, but it's really like helping them across the line of making that choice and really like deciding to do something about the problem they want to solve. Okay, but again, that's really where we come from in this. So your job is to be able to get other people to do things that they don't want to do, but they need to do it in order to live the life they want to be living. Okay, so I said before, they want to do it. They do want to do it deep down, but they also, a part of them maybe doesn't want to do something about the problem specifically. Maybe they resist doing certain things. Your job is to really show them how they actually need to do it and get them to really like desire to do it and see the value in it. I mean, how many times in your life have you not wanted to do something, and then someone explained to you why it was important and how it will give you something positive, and then suddenly that decision to not became a decision to do, right? It happens to everyone. So this is really content. Before we move on, just please know that the only way to convert the traffic that comes into your business into booked appointments is by mastering the following elements of content creation consistently. Now, if you're not getting any traffic, you don't have any leads coming to your business, that is like the biggest thing to focus on first. And literally, I highly recommend you reach out to us to help you to do that. But really, it's like, I just imagine that everyone is focusing on traffic first and nothing else. Because without traffic, without leads coming to your business, like, how can you create clients? Like, especially on Facebook, clients do not come from the sky. They need to be intentionally brought into your audience and then converted. And we convert them with traffic, okay? So we convert them with traffic. We convert them with content, okay? So let's go through these elements. Now, creating incredible content that generates the desire in someone to take action, important element. Creating this content consistently, important element. If you're writing stuff down, this is definitely these points are definitely one part of your notes which should be there. By the way, if you get more than 2 pages of notes inside this module, then definitely let me know in the comments section below. I want to see people that get 2 pages of notes. Let me know if you get 1 page of notes. Let me know if you get half a page of notes. So really following a structure when creating your content, guys, it's super important. Like, don't be one of those people that just creates content just to put something out there. If you're not feeling inspired and you don't have a structure, then don't make content. And if you don't have a structure and you're not inspired, make sure you get a structure and make sure you get inspired as well. Okay, so honing in your content to educate and build value for the inefficiencies that your solution solves, which are really the problems that you solve. Like, every offer has a purpose, and its purpose is to solve a problem so that someone can get a solution. Okay. And really educate them on how that solution generates results specifically. Excuse me. So we really, like, in your content, we really don't just want to be one of those people that says, oh, I've got this program, if you want to get this result, then do it. Like, don't be like that person. You'll just bleed into like the rest of the masses. We really want to start getting intentional about our content and really breaking down the step by step and how that plays into the whole picture of the result getting process. And we should really be weaving it into the client and what their current situation is. How does our offer really work with them? How does it work with their inefficiencies, and educating them on how it gets them that solution? So really, the last element is just really having a highly optimized profile funnel and Facebook group. So we're not specialists in other platforms. We have spent the last 4.5 years, generated $2 million in sales organically on Facebook. We haven't done paid ads until very, very recently, but we're only doing this through Facebook and organically. So if we can do it, and we've done B2C offers, we've done B2B offers, all high ticket, never low ticket, we've never done it, all high ticket. If we've done that in B2C and B2B, business to consumer, business to business, then we can literally teach anyone how to do that. We have taught dozens of people. So without mastering content creation and those above elements, you're not going to warm up your traffic enough for them to translate to a booked appointment. So these elements are the keys to turning your content that you put out there into a gold mine. So don't let your outreach go to waste, and make creating content a part of your daily routine. Okay. So if your content hasn't been converting, then before doing anything else, ensure the above elements are met for like 90 days, specifically minimum, before changing anything else. So I wouldn't consult you on changing your offer if you're not getting appointments booked in. I wouldn't suggest you do that, because if you change your offer first before trying everything else, then you have to change everything about how your business is set up. And it may just be simply a matter of you're not creating content following a proven structure. Okay. So comment below if you're not following a proven structure, and then I really want you to start implementing what you learn here. Now, content creation, it's important to understand what the intention of it is. As I mentioned before, now content creation is really converting your audience at scale. This is the ultimate conversion mechanism to be aware of. And I want you to think about how well loved Tony Robbins, Alex Hormozi, Iman Gadzhi, how loved they are, how many views they get, how rich they are, how their clients get great results. All of these successful people in our industry, they put out valuable content consistently for their audience to consume. Now, they're really good at making content as well. Like, they have spent time on this skill. Now, the bigger your audience becomes, the more your focus will need to become around content creation. Aside from managing your team, content creation, it is literally one of the only activities that I would consult you do until the end of your business's life cycle. I don't consult you to outsource your content creation. Really, it's important that you outsource other things that are less creative. You want to really focus on delegating and outsourcing everything that's not a creative task. Anything admin, anything that's repetitive that doesn't require creative thought should be outsourced. Absolutely. One second. But if it is a creative task, then you should do it, or you should like hire someone. But I wouldn't suggest hiring someone for content creation, because it's too close to your brand. Like, if someone gets it wrong, then they will burn your audience, they'll burn your brand. So it's like Martin Luther King getting someone else to take his speeches. It's like the president. One of the things he always does is he does his own speeches. Like, he hosts his own speeches. This is the same thing. If we're running our business, we're literally a public figure. We want to do our own content. So it's the fastest way to speak to each member of your audience all at once. So imagine you have like 3,000 people. You can either speak to them one by one in Messenger, or you can literally have a megaphone and speak to all of them at once. What is going to warm people up to what you do and convert them the fastest? It's the megaphone. So really the intention behind content is to convert your audience at scale, and also to convert them at the same time to being believers of your offer. Really believers of your offer, and you're solving their problems at scale. Now your content is going to do the heavy lifting of conversion for you. Because of this fact, you won't have to exert as much energy converting them into believers through Messenger or in your sales conversation face to face. So what we want to do is we want to lift all of that effort that you have been exerting in sales calls, in terms of if you're having multiple sessions to close someone, if you're having to give them like a crazy breakthrough in a coaching experience, if you're taking 2 hours to close people, you literally just need to lift all of that discussion out of that sales call and put it into content before that leads see before they get there to the point of speaking with you. So being super intentional like that will save your time, and something you never get back is time. So let's make sure we're using your time and energy, which is limited, in the best way possible. So content creation is a leveraged business action. What does this mean? I'll tell you in a second in detail, but it crosses a complete stranger over the chasm of non-believer to believer, seeking to hear more about what you do. So leveraged is a process. Being leveraged is a process of working at the point of highest return. So if I send one message to a lead, I'm going to get potentially one message back. That's like a unit of 1 for 1. But if I train an outreach specialist to send out 1,000 messages to leads per week, then that's 1 unit of energy from me, and then I get 1,000 units of energy out, and then I get maybe 600 units of energy back. So that's a 600 to 1 return on investment, as opposed to a 1 to 1 return on investment. Okay, so if I can pay that outreach specialist $3 an hour to get 600 of units back, tell me if that's worth it or not. Because if I can do that, then what I'm saying is, if I don't have that, my time is worth literally $3 an hour. Right? So that's really what's important to understand, this concept of leverage. So when you're creating content, you're going to find that people may not respond to you at first. They may not trust your content. Let's speak about this and what creates it so we can avoid it. If you barely have any friends in your profile, if you have barely any photos of you, if your photos are unprofessional, or your friends, you've got less than 5,000 friends, if you don't share about your life or what you do, then your efforts, in terms of, even if you're generating leads, even if you're doing anything, they're not going to convert. Because when you message someone, or when someone messages you, 99% of people will seek to confirm the message from you, or they'll seek to confirm you as being legitimate by checking your profile for legitimacy. So if they can't see that legitimacy because of one of these points or more of those points, then they're not going to want to speak with you. So they're seeking to gain social context to see why either you message them, or if it's actually worth it to message you. They're seeking who you are. They're seeking if it's likely that responding to you is going to pay off positively for them. Because when we're talking to people online in the environment, it's super important, guys. It's a transactional affair, especially with business. We will only speak to people that we feel will give us a positive return that is greater than the energy we're putting in. So if I can speak to someone and I can offer a program, and say that program costs $3,000, if I can speak to them and persuade them that that program will solve their issues in business and make them $100,000 back, if they really feel that and believe that, excuse me, then they will believe it will pay off positively for them, and they're likely to then continue conversing with me. It's really, really just valuable to know this stuff. So by this stage, I'm sure that everyone watching it this module can really see why having the skill of content creation and profile optimization is pretty important, right? Drop it in the comments if you're seeing that this could be important to have in place. So step 1, how do you structure your content? There's so many ways to create content, and we think about content as having an intention for what the impact is of that content for the audience. So every type of content has a different intention. And really it's important because you need to understand where your audience is at in terms of how warm they are based on the response you're getting. And that will tell you if they're ready for a specific type of content. So for the rest of this module, I'm going to teach you the specific types that have worked best for us and most of our clients. It really comes down to 4 types. There's relatability and value posts. The aim here is to warm and familiarize your audience to you and your offer by creating engagement. There's lead magnet and call to action posts. The aim here is to cherry pick the most ready leads to book as appointments and educate on your offer through sales assets. Sales assets can be video sales letters, any videos about your offer, breaking things down. This, what I'm shooting right now, this is what I'm going to use as a sales asset for people that want to know what we have around content creation. I'll send them this. Okay, this is a sales asset. It's something that is an asset that can be used in sales to assist a new client being generated. So success stories and testimonials. So the aim here is to convert your audience into believers through proving your claims are legitimate in the form of content and successful clients going along their journey. Okay, this is what success stories and testimonials are. Really, really important. If you do just relatability and value posts, call to action, lead magnets, this is like gasoline on the fire. Okay, I aim to put out one of these every single day, some form of social proof, some form of success story, testimonials. The last thing is Trojan horse questions. So the aim here is to really identify the prospects that are more qualified so you can reach out and book them as an appointment. All right. So let's look into each of these and see how to really structure them. Now, Trojan horse questions. Trojan horse questions are questions that you can ask to an audience, not because you care about the answer to the question, but because you care about the people that are responding to that question or that will respond. So most people that answer your question, the intention is that they automatically will be qualified as a prospect because of how the question is formulated. And really, you want to ask yourself, what would be a question that only can be answered by prospects who deal with the problems that my business solves? So there's an answer here, but we couldn't really give it out because it's protected, it's IP. So a question that would be an example is you want to think about who's your niche. Okay, if my niche of business owners, like coaches that want to scale from 2K per month to 50K per month, I got to think about what's their main problem. It's leads. So the Trojan horse question would be like, who here is currently doing outreach themselves? Who here is currently generating leads themselves? Who here currently has a Facebook group? Okay, these are indicators of people that could be a good fit for my offer. Okay, so that's an example of Trojan horse questions. It's number 1. Success story posts and testimonials. Now the chief aim here is to really associate in their mind that we are the best at solving their current problems they have. If you have case studies, show them off. This is a case study is like a testimonial. Ideally video format for case studies and testimonials and social proof, but if you don't have those, then get those ASAP. And little tip here is like you want to pin like a great success story at the top of your Facebook profile. I'll show you guys what we have. We've got something really, really cool and it's really converting super well. And I want to show you. So we've got one of our clients talking to us about a success they created and it's got like a call to action at the bottom. Okay. And we've got this, we're literally like seeing people put up their hands for this walkthrough call. Boom, boom. It's just like, this is clients, this is appointments. Boom. So having something like that, super important. It's one of the things that we implement with people when they jump on with us, like within the first couple of days, is we rig out their profile to look like a market leader in their niche, which is super good for their traffic. But this is what you can do with social proof success stories and testimonials. Okay, so relatability posts. This is a really powerful tool. A relatability post. It's one that I used when I was in the addictions niche, and I really used it to get a lot of success. When I started using relatability posts, my content engagement went from 15 to 20 likes and a couple of comments to 160 likes and like 50 to 150 comments per post. Okay. And that was like pretty regular. So this is very powerful because you get to put yourself out there, and people who end up liking your stuff, they will like you and support you. They will feel connected to you. They'll become part of your tribe because they can relate with you, and they'll feel what's called an allegiance with you. They'll feel like they are part of you, part of your community. So to do this, you talk about how you solve the problems your ideal client wants resolution on, because then it will pique their interest in asking you how you did it so you can help them get there. Regardless, you will build connection by being similar using relatability posts. So you talk about your backstory, you talk about where you came from in relation to the journey they're currently in, but you talk about it in retrospect, as if you have finished that journey. And what you're doing is you're going to fill in their knowledge gaps, what they don't understand right now about their journey, as someone that has finished it. So they're going to see you as an authority. Now, you want to describe the obstacles you dealt with, which they're currently dealing with, and how it affected all the areas of your life. So it's always good to post yourself unrelated to the business you operate, because you build this likeness with your audience. It's like in story form. This is a story. It's a story about your life. It's like your hero's journey. Russell Brunson, the owner of ClickFunnels, calls it your origin story, I believe. So try and have a balance between your business posts and your normal posts, but always keep it relevant to the brand, the message. If you swing too much on a personal level, you'll just be seen as incongruent in your marketing. If you swing too much to a business level, you'll just be seen as a robot. And it doesn't matter how many posts you put of your business, you're not going to increase your conversions because you're just burning your audience. So remember that one of the basic human desires, guys, is status. So leverage that when you're working with social media. So the way that we leverage that is by making your profile a digital creator. That's, I believe, when you make it professional, you can set it as a professional status, and that will open you up to a greater reach. This is just a little tip here, which is super valuable. You're going to increase your engagement just by this one change. And then you can tag your followers. If you tag @followers in your posts or @highlights, you're going to boost the reach of your maximum engagement without even having to pay anything. But if you have about $15 per month, I'd suggest you verify your Facebook account, because then your content can be pushed out to more people by Meta. Okay, so there's something really, really good that you can do. So then you've got call to action posts. You've got, this is where you offer a lead magnet. You offer a free walkthrough call at the end of your post. Okay, you've got Facebook and Instagram stories. I leverage my stories to keep the audience engaged and to have them, give them the ability to actually engage without too much friction through polls and Q&A. I also get information from them about their position in life and business, so I can create more content around it. But use your stories to warm up the percent of people who are ready to buy. So I aim to literally use my stories to post all of the above kinds of content. I'll post, call to action posts. I'll post relatability posts in video or picture form. I'll post success stories, a lot of success stories. And I'll put Trojan horse questions in the form of Q&A posts, okay? So stories push out further than profile posts, which is super good to be leveraging. I aim to put out like quite a few story posts. So you can actually pin testimonials, call to actions, or posts that did really well at the top of your profile, as I mentioned before. So now that we've gone through the types of posts, let's really talk about how does it all thread together? How do we really put it into a nice content calendar? So the way that we usually do it is Monday, you put transformation relatability post. You speak to the false beliefs of the client by talking about how you changed your worldview and got your results. Tuesday, you can have it off, or you can put out a 1-sentence question post, a Trojan horse post. You can do Wednesday like a testimonial case study, building authority. Thursday, call to action, lead magnet post offering something of value, and a demo call. Friday, you could have it off, or you could put another Trojan horse question, or you could put a transformation relatability post. Saturday, comment or a question post, Trojan horse question. Obviously, don't do them 2 days in a row. And then Sunday, you just have it off. Okay. So we did this when we were starting out to get to 20K per month, but the current content calendar we do is Monday to Friday, we do these posts. And then Saturday and Sunday, we don't post, okay? Because we have weekends off. Now, the next thing is mix up your content. Do the videos, do the reels, do lives, because it really builds a lot of likeness and trust with your audience. And honestly, if you're not ready for strangers to see you on video, if you're not ready, I mean, for your family and friends to see you on video, but you have concerns around that, guys, you're going to struggle to get strangers to become clients and believers. So we recommend putting out 4 to 5 times per week your content, and really make sure your profile is optimized. Your content, guys, like look at my profile. If I have my content around 50 days to 50K months, and then I go on, I start talking about like trauma, like that's not in alignment with the brand. Like it's not going to make sense. So if someone comes, some lead comes, looks at my content and they see like, oh, I'm a trauma coach. If I say I help people with trauma, but look up here, I'm not talking anything about trauma, it shows brand incongruity. So what you really want to make sure is that it really, the way your profile is optimized should line up with your content, and always have content going out. So if you look here, like I've put something out 18 hours ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago. Like there's almost something every single day, or at least every 2 days, at least. Okay. And it's super consistent. And I've been consistent for the last 3 to 4 years, for the last 4 years, 4.5 years. So if you post hard every day, and it's just the same stuff every day, like if it's killer content, post hard every day. But if it's not killer content, people, and you're not getting engagement, people are going to stop looking at your stuff, and you can burn your audience. But if you're only posting content once or twice a week, people are going to just forget about it. Now, out of 7 days, 4 to 5 is good. 6 is awesome. There's nothing special about someone who is not consistent. No one ever said, oh, look at that guy who is like posting once a week about his message. No, it's like, look at that guy. He's posting every day and he's always coming up with really great stuff. It's a muscle, and you just got to work it. So this is going to really help you in how to create each kind of content. And this is applicable to every single type of content I've mentioned. Be sure to always have an attention grabbing headline. This is for obvious reasons, so that people will stop and actually give their attention. This is what Russell Brunson calls your hook. Okay. Once you have your hook, then you can give your story. Hook, story, and then offer, he says. But really, we can call it anything. We can call it a headline. We can call it adding value. It could be a story. It can just be some kind of way to add value in the body of the text, of the post or the content. And then it's really important that you put like an offer if you're doing a call to action or a lead magnet post. But if you're not, then just focus on keeping the frame. So if you are to do a relatability post, make sure you use your story to inspire others, not make them feel sorry for you. It's very important that you speak with empowerment when you create content. Don't complain in your content. Don't talk about bad things that are happening in your life unless you circle it round to a positive learning, and really always end it positively. Why do I say this? Because in NLP, in neuro-linguistic programming, which is what I'm trained in, we call the pictures people make in their mind when they hear stuff, and when they see stuff, and when they feel stuff, anything that comes in through the 5 senses, it is what we call, it ends up what we call as an internal representation. It's an internal picture that also has sounds and feelings that comes up and is generated based on what comes in through our senses. It's a representation that represents what's happening from the outside in, okay? And it's based on our filters. So if we read posts that make us see pictures that make us feel negative, we're not going to want to look at that person's content anymore, because when the directions we perceive we're getting negative emotions from, we don't want to go there anymore, right? So always make sure that your content makes people feel positive emotions. Key. It's one for your notes. So if you do a testimony or a case study, make sure you showcase yourself as the authority and positively. Have the end in mind. Never create a piece of content without knowing what will be offered at the end. Because every piece of content should be an asset that sells for you. Okay. So before you go ahead and start implementing this in your content, you've got to understand that if you don't know what problems, what solutions, what beliefs your ideal prospects have, you're never going to be able to create content even with this structure. So unfortunately, no market is full of people who know their problems and are aware of solutions and have the beliefs that will allow them to get motivated to purchase your product. They don't arrive at that point because they would have bought someone else's thing. You've got to bring them to that point. Is only a small group. It's actually 3% of every 100 people that watch your stuff who are actually ready to buy if they're approached. The larger group of every market will most likely be unaware of their problems to a certain level, or they're unaware of this, that your solution exists, and they are not sure how to actually access it. So how do we take that 97% of people from completely asleep in terms of their problem and your solution to being wide awake to the possibilities? Now, you can do something in your content which can take people psychologically through the different stages of awareness. And that means instead of only being able to sell the tiny 3% of people who are ready, you can actually sell the majority, and you can convert them, not just through really not just finding them where they are and leaving them there, but getting them to really realizing that they are ready. So the first stage is like someone is at this stage, they're unaware. This is where the prospect is not aware of the problem the service solves or the service itself. And they're not actually aware of the damages being caused by the problem. So the advertising, and this comes from Eugene Schwartz, one of Eugene Schwartz's books, I think it's called Breakthrough Advertising. The advertising here for this type of audience at this level of awareness, needs to create awareness about the problem and the service. And then the problem awareness, the prospect is aware of the problem and the service. The prospect is aware of the problem the service solves, but not the service itself. So they need to be the advertising needs to highlight the problem and present the service as a solution. It needs to make them aware of the solution. Now we've got solution awareness. The prospect is aware of the service category, but the service, but not the service, the specific service. So they know that there are solutions, but they don't know which one is the right one. Advertising needs to present the service as a superior solution in comparison to other services in relation to the problem. Then we've got service awareness. Now the prospect is aware of the service, but may be considering other options. Okay, so they're aware of your service, but they're still looking at which one is the right one. Advertising needs to really highlight the unique benefits and advantages of your service. Again, it's really like having that superior solution. Now, most aware, this prospect has already made a decision to use the service or not. Advertising needs to reinforce the decision they've made and address any remaining concerns and objections. Okay. Now, when we're creating content, we consider firstly that people that jump into your profile are not going to be as warm in terms of traffic as the people in your group. So the content you post to your profile should be different. It should be really for people at these two levels and level 3. And then the content being posted to your group should really be around this, because they're going to be warmer. They'll be more they'll be more connected to you. They'll be more what's the word? They'll have more of a knowledge around what you do and who you are, more trust. So we always consider the prospect is at the first stage of awareness if they're coming in from the profile, because more times than not, people are genuinely unaware about their problems and solution. They just have this feeling that something isn't working. So it's your job to make them more aware and educate them about things they don't understand yet. So everybody knows you need to work out to lose weight. Everyone knows that consciously. You need to eat less and exercise more. That's it. But how many people actually commit to doing it? And this is really because you got to take people through the stage of awareness in your content so that they can see, okay, I know what I need to do more of. I know what I need to do less of. Okay. This is where they're like here. And I know that there is now solutions. There's the gym, there's nutrition. But now I need to know, okay, what is the specific workout type that I need to do? Where's my personal trainer? Where's my nutrition app, right? Or nutrition plan? And who's going to keep me accountable? So we got to bring people through these stages. And prospects who are already aware, they won't mind the fact that you spend a little more time describing their situation. It will create more trust. Okay, so people that come to us, they're really at that level where they are good at creating sales if they have enough leads and appointments booking in. But really, or if they're not really that good at sales, they've usually made a couple of sales. Okay, we don't serve people that haven't created sales yet. We're really focusing on the people that have. They're coming in, they're generating leads themselves. They don't have delegated lead systems set up. So they really struggle with creating consistent income in their business. They know that if they had a consistent flow of leads and we taught them how to book them as appointments, well, maybe they already know how to book them. But if they don't, if we were to teach them, they would then triple their revenue, because they just had 5 to 10 appointments booked per week. They'd get 1 to 2 sales. If we showed them how to charge, or they are charging 5K plus per month, then that's a 25K month just by solving the lead generation issue. So really it's about describing, okay, I've described your situation and now it creates more trust in you for me. So the goal of content is to change beliefs and sell transformation. Now, if I talk to you and you fit that category and I say, look, you don't need to host challenges. You don't need to run paid ads. You don't need to be on multiple platforms. You don't need to have a website built out. You're going to be like, wow, some of those were beliefs that I may have had. I say, all you need to do is just literally generate 50 to 100 leads, store them in a community, accept them as appointments, and warm them up with content to that one community, and just focus your energy there and literally just then close them. That's it. So most people would be like, could it be that simple? Yes, it needs to be that simple for you to be consistent. I mean, how many times have you tried to actually post to all of the platforms? And how long were you consistent for? Probably not long. So this is how we change beliefs, guys, in our content. I'm doing it right now. And then we sell transformation. And I say, like, I was selling the transformation when I was talking to you about delegating the leads and one single community, and then just showing you how to set those leads that come in. So it's an inbound lead generation system. So you takes all of that 2 to 5 plus hours a day off your belt. You don't need to focus on generating leads anymore. You can focus on what's important: creating content, setting appointments, closing appointments, delivering, which is really, you prefer to do that. You prefer to make lots of money helping people delivering, right? So that's really selling the transformation, okay? So if enough people believe you and believe in the transformation that you offer, money and influence will be the last thing that you will ever worry about. Your content should clearly describe the transformation that occurs once people go through your offer. So in general, for all of your content, well, for your social proof, this is like a good example. But really, you can tell this as a story in relatability posts in general as well. So if you look at something like your before state, so with the relatability post, you can say like something around how you were going before you actually found the solution, then something how you were going after you found the solution. If you're talking about social proof, we can talk about this. This client, before engaging with Ben McDowell Coaching, they were, before they started engaging with us, they were at like $2,000 per month. Their metrics were they were getting like 10 to 15 leads per week into their Facebook group. And as we covered in the different stages of awareness, this is an example of how you can take someone through the stage and how you can take them from unaware that this was an issue to actually becoming aware. So this would be the first mentioning, and that's like where they were. The after state is like after working with our team, the results were really good. They moved up to 55 group members a week. And this then doubled, because we doubled their leads, it doubled the appointments, because when you double the lead flow, whatever you had set up in terms of appointment setting just doubles also, because it's just a system. So they were getting 5 to 10 appointments booked per week after we doubled their lead flow. And then they just got double the sales. So this is an example of how you can take someone through the stages of awareness. Okay. So now ask yourself the following: what is the number one belief that if a prospect was to have, they would immediately want to buy your service, your product? What is that belief? Probably that it would work for them. Probably that they can do it now. Probably that they can afford it. Probably that it has some kind of guarantees that it would work. Once you figure out the answer to that question, go ahead and create a piece of content that has the purpose to convert that prospect into a believer of your product and service. So I really want to cover last thing. What if you don't have ideas for content to post? So it's possible that you're going to be stuck in a situation where you don't have any ideas about what to actually post as content. But there are solutions for this. So you can do listening to podcasts, you can watch YouTube videos of experts in your niche. This is by far the best solution. Every single day I listen to podcasts, I read books. And so that's why I don't struggle with creating content. You only struggle with creating content when you don't have enough new information flowing through your senses about what you actually help people with. Okay, so because of these experts, they're actually already experts in what you are helping people to do. So they sometimes are even interviewing your ideal clients. And so by spending time listening to such podcasts, you're going to gather insights for people that how they can actually achieve the desired outcome for these guys that you actually help people to achieve. Okay. So there's plenty of podcasts for your niche that are serving your niche. And if you want to find the best one, just type in the service keyword or the niche keyword in Spotify or Google. So like if it was the service keyword is like coaching, scaling your coaching business for coaches. So service keyword is scaling your service business. Niche keyword is for coaches, or it's it's addictions for smokers. Okay, addictions for smokers. It's just going to come up with a bunch of podcasts. The last one is look up what your competitors are doing. If someone is doing better than you are, you literally have something to learn from them. So visit your social media profile and see the type of content they're sharing. I recommend this. I literally love doing this. I have a list of 10 people that are killing it in my industry. If I ever don't know what to post about, I go to their profiles and I model their stuff. Now, modeling is not copying. You don't write their post word for word as your post. You literally just take it and you make it your own. Okay. Now, there's the 6 rules to highly engaging content is the last thing before we conclude. And then I'm going to share with you a secret, which is like some resources, which I think are going to help you. But stay till the end so you see me explain that. Never argue or try to convince people of your point of view in a post. You're not solving people's problems here. You're just creating conversation and engagement. If people heckle, then just delete and block them. Remember that your content is there to build trust, grow your audience, and eventually serve them as a person. Practicing and mastering this area is mastering communication. If you cannot communicate in your content, it's going to be really difficult to influence others in sales calls and especially in delivery. So it's going to be really hard to be successful if you can't do this. This is just a simple truth. So content is a nurturing process. You're nurturing relationships. So be patient, improve from the market's response, and continue to build your audience. Really, like, don't get emotional about your content. Emotion, oh, it actually says, I said, don't get negatively emotional about your content. Get emotional though, because emotion is what gets people to take action and change their lives. So you can do this while still remaining appropriate and professional. So it's about having that emotional control and how you wield your emotions. Now, always use a picture of yourself with your posts and you have it reflect the intention of the post. So don't use stock images. Don't do that. It's not going to work very well. If there's a watermark on your post, it looks bad. So use selfies. Literally, selfies are the best thing. Okay. In conclusion, I want you guys to write some powerful pieces of content, spread them through the internet, and let it do the work for you. But first, start on Facebook. Please, I have a task for you. Go through this, or just from what you've learned here, create a piece of content modeling us and our structure. Literally, tag me in it. Tag me in that post. post it to your profile, and post it to this Facebook group. Post it to this Facebook group after I finish this module. Post it to your profile so we can see, and we can give you a review, we can support you. And I've really included also some editing resources that I use to make sure your content looks really good. So if you don't have someone editing your content for you, don't want to pay people to do that, or you don't have the budget, let's make some bomb art pieces. And if you have any questions, shoot me a message, I'll respond. This is for our clients, but I'll respond to Facebook if you guys have questions in Facebook. So the resources are Captions app. This is going to show you how to actually make, you know, when you have those emojis coming up in different colored text when you see people's videos, especially in YouTube Shorts, this is the app that they're usually using to create those things that engage people, like those emojis, those change of the text. It all engages people. Teleprompter is a really good one for shooting video sales letters, for shooting videos where you have to cover points specifically and it has to be spoken really clearly. Teleprompter is your way to go. It's an app. There's also an example of a reel I shot here, but this I can't release for free. But if you don't want to, this does cost, it's like $40. This I think is free. If you don't want to purchase anything here, I think Instagram also provides free captions and edits. I just use captions for quality purposes. I mean, if it gets me more revenue through the door, I'll invest $40 a month, right? So that's good. I hope this was successful. We went for a good 55 minutes here. We've just given you our whole content structure, whole content calendar. We've given you our secrets. So let me know in the comments section below if that was useful, if you liked that, if you feel like you would like to see more of the content stuff. If you hated it, let me know in the comments, because we want to only spend our time giving what is valuable. And I want you to really just take a moment. If you found value in this, just tell 3 people about this group that you feel like would really benefit from being here, and then send them the link to join. We would deeply appreciate that. If you want to do more, you can also let us know what you want to hear more about. Have a wonderful day. I will catch you next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Sydney time. Have a wonderful, wonderful